Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the channel. I'm Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we are doing our morning messages. So welcome. Happy Saturday to everyone. I hope you guys are doing well today. I'm gonna light a little Palo Santo so we can kick off our morning messages in style. You know, it's just a good way. I love the way it smells, and it's also such a good purifier and cleanser for our energy. And yeah, so if you want to receive the clearing, the blessing, just open yourself up to receive. Help these messages to be blessed the highest and best way. So welcome, guys. So morning messages, it's all about creating just a encouraging and inspiring way to start your day. If you've been following along, I say this over and over again, but just so you guys know, I want to make sure. You know, I love starting my day pulling cards. It really kind of just helps ground me, especially if I'm having a lot of anxiety or feeling uncertain, insecure about things, etc. It just kind of helps put things in a positive perspective and feels empowering and inspiring on how we can move through whatever we might be challenged with. So they're general collective readings, they're timeless. As long as the message resonates for you, then it's meant for you. Let's get going. Okay, so the Shadow Queen, very interesting. Acquiring knowledge, insecurity, manipulation. So, you know, I feel like obviously we all have our light, we all have our shadow parts. The parts of us that are a little bit low vibey, need some extra love, healing, etc. And I feel like this is a lot about, you know, just kind of connecting more with that spiritual part of you, the altar priestess. Everyone kind of has their own thing that they vibe with. Obviously, if you're watching these, you're probably interested in, you know, this form of divination, or, you know, it can get attached to a lot of different practices, pagan practices, you know, but it can also be saying a prayer, lighting a candle, going to church and lighting a candle, etc. We have so many different ways that we connect with the divine, right? This says preparation, prayer, sacred ritual. So I feel like I'm hearing this as twofold. Yes, like it's about knowing our shadow self, but it's also being mindful of those around us, especially when we have to prepare our space. Add an element of protection that can be as easy as just setting that intention. You know, I am divinely protected and guarded. I am safe and secure. Envisioning, you know, kind of that protection surrounding you is a great way to set that intention. Saying the prayer, calling on angels, spirit guides, crossed over loved ones, whatever resonates with you. Because there is this element of transformation. And sometimes people get jealous of that, right? Like when we are growing, when we are evolving, there's always going to be haters around, you know, it's just kind of like the nature of humanity. That's part of the shadow, right? And I think it's also an element or an opportunity for us to rise above, you know? I mean, if you watch like any like famous person or someone who's become very successful in their career, they will tell you they've been shut down numerous times, or had many people tell them they couldn't make it, they couldn't be successful, etc. And those are the things that we really do have to step away from. And that's kind of where this like altar priestess is giving us that extra layer of protection. So you might run into this a little bit today. I'm filming this on Saturday, so it's Saturday fun day. No, you know, but party, like whatever. It doesn't have to be a party. You know, you might come into contact with someone who's a little bit scrutinizing, criticizing, because there is change, and with that is coming abundance, the Wheel of Fortune. But change doesn't happen. It's not just like a stroke of luck, right? It happens because we are really working and trying to, or like planting the seeds, right? Yeah, Two of Pentacles, juggling. And you might not even see that your abundance is coming in. People on the outside might even see it before you. This Nine of Wands, you know, I think it's like, okay, I love this actually, because the Nine of Wands can be a little bit of being on the defensive, closed off, but it also is that value of someone who's like come from battle, you know, who has been through the ringer. And this says, in times of stress, be bold and vigilant. How dope is that? Because it is stressful. It has been stressful to get to where you're at. It hasn't been easy. You have planted the seeds. And a lot of times the people that judge or shame or hate don't see the work that went in, you know, the toil, the labor. And yeah, everyone might not like it because, you know, usually people are doing that because they feel left out, you know. It's a form of rejection is what I was going to say. Not that it's intentional on anyone's end, but if it kind of goes back to like, if something's not vibing, if there's not synergy, then it's not a good place to force the issue. I think I just did a post on that, and it's a really beautiful oracle deck, the Magical Botanical Oracle. And it's about, yes, creating our dreams, our desires, but knowing when something's just a learning lesson. Queen of Pentacles is earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. That energy came up in yesterday's reading as well. Someone feeling left out, you know, maybe that is the Shadow Queen. Things have changed completely is what I'm hearing. And, you know, I feel like for them as well, right? They've had to do their own soul searching and revival, right? I feel like they're trying to keep everything up. And you could feel that way too, right? Oftentimes the people that we're attracting or the situations we're attracting into our life, we're mirroring them, you know? They're mirrors for us. Maybe you didn't fully see or understand what was being offered. Maybe you took it for granted. When the music changes, so should the dance. And that's amazing. So Four of Cups in your blocked energy, with that in mind, it's like, okay, you know, so if the pattern has shifted, then change your tune. But I feel like that's also, I'm going to clarify this for you, because I do feel like it's a good thing. You know, I think you've had to kind of be very diplomatic in how you approach this energy, especially with the Queen of Swords. She's not making her decisions out of feeling and emotion. She's making it off of the rational choice. Well, the practical, like if this is what's happening, if this is what you're saying or what you're doing or how you're showing up, then I have to respond accordingly. And maybe it made it seem like there wasn't harmony, there wasn't balance. Things are stagnant. Very interesting, guys. Very interesting reading. It's like being in competition with someone, too much emotion. Yeah, it's like maybe you guys wanted the same thing, but literally One is the Shadow Queen, and one is the Swan Queen, you know? So it's kind of like, I feel like there was just a disconnect with how things manifested. It probably triggered both of you in different ways. And so there was issues that happened. But there is a level of stubbornness that's on either side. Resistance for some reason. You're doing the work. You're putting in the change like we talked about. But you still have a lot of focus on this person or situation. You're still kind of like watching them as well with this scrutinizing eye. I don't know. They seem like they're being a little bit naive with this guy. It's just like a foolish energy. Like he looks kind of silly. Like just like he's not taking anything seriously, but also like he kind of knows. It's like more manipulation, right? It was 11:11 on the clock when I pulled that up. So, you know, unfortunately, it keeps things stagnant. Sometimes, and, you know, that's the thing. Even if we can clearly see what's happening in a situation, we wish it would move a certain way, and it's not. We still have to make our choices accordingly, right? That kind of goes back to that codependence. Because I feel like it's not going to change, and that's where this person's shadow is playing a role and taking over. And that's the thing, you know, like when we buy, you know, when we don't have all the information and we buy into the misbeliefs, that's our shadow, you know. But it's someone who's operating out of a lot of insecurity. And I think for you, it's about continuing to take time to rest, to heal. I love this, like little cuddle times, especially if you have a child, a young child, or a niece or nephew or something. I know with my son, it's like so loving. I love that. Cuddle cuds is what we call them. Blessed is the influence of one true, loving human soul on another. It is so true, right? Like we all need love. And I think that's the value. Like you can give understanding to this person. You can be fair, be decisive, be diplomatic. But if it's being taken for granted, then that's what it is, you know? And now that I'm seeing this, I'm hearing that as more like you're feeling taken for granted. You're feeling not valued. And that's where, but again, you're in this space of transforming into something very beautiful. And from this place of maybe a lot of pain, a lot of challenging life circumstances, right? Usually when we go through these trials and tribulations, are, you know, it's triggering our shadow, so to speak, the things that make us want to behave badly. Right? So, okay, the resurrection, coming to life again. I love that. Look at how vibrant. I love these cards. It's so magical. You could probably meditate on that, especially with that red and yellow and orange. That's all of our base chakras, our root, our sacral, our solar plexus, which really speaks to how we ground into this life, how we find our empowerment, our sensuality, our creativity, what makes life worth living, right? Because the next chakra is our heart, and that is what connects our upper to our lower. And so we have to be grounded in our life in order to enjoy and tap in, you know, or else we can get too, I don't know. It's like we create our own purgatory, right? We can spend too much time in the upper chakras or too much time in the lower chakras, meaning the lower makes us rigid, stubborn, selfish, aggressive, arrogant, prideful. And the upper chakras, I think it's like living in La La Land, the woohoo, right? Oh, guardian angel, she came out yesterday. You are protected. I think it's just like knowing the places that you put yourself in your own purgatory. And that can be not only your shadow side, the things that you do to yourself, but that's also the people that you surround yourself with, your environment, what is like, you know, around you, what you're collaborating with, etc. And if it's someone or something that we can't avoid presently, we have to learn how to create that safe space, that protection. Breathing exercises, meditation is awesome. Trying to think, you know, stealing some minutes in the bathroom, whatever it is for you. All right, guys, I hope you have a fabulous day. Sending so much love and blessings. Thanks for all the love and support to the channel. I totally appreciate you. Lots of love.